Pisces, hi. So this is going to be a reading for the month of February 2024. And I'll do the reading for you and then I'll close it off with a oracle card. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Well, let's see, Pisces. Alright, the overall energy for the reading, the High Priestess. Your intuition is at play or should be or is required to be. Yeah, definitely a little bit of a push in terms of try to get in touch with your intuition as much as possible. Because starting off the reading, you get the Empress crossed by the Eight of Swords. You're a little bit lost when it comes to that sense of your intuition because you're kind of overthinking things here with this Eight of Swords. It almost feels like, you know, you've got that special secret room inside of yourself where your intuition can be found, your need for self-care, self-love, and all of that, and it's like you don't have access to it, you know, because you're keeping yourself busy in your mind. And I can see why in your focus here you got the Death card, so possibly dealing with something not pleasant, maybe a loss of some sort or a sense of separation. So yeah, that could definitely kind of send you right up into your mind and create all sorts of problems, and there are all sorts of stories that may not even be true at the end of the day, you know, but it keeps you disconnected from yourself, definitely. In the recent past, the Five of Cups, things weren't looking great here, so it almost looks like whatever this was kind of leading up to this place of whatever is going on here. Maybe there is a loss over someone important here. In your strength, the Four of Swords, you do have this available, this ability through all of this to kind of get back in touch with yourself. But it's like you're showing up like 50-50, you know, where part of you is definitely trying to get back in touch with self and just kind of be with what is, and then part of you is just unable to, because the thoughts of what's going on are kind of torturing you. In the immediate future, the Three of Pentacles, that's shown up as a partnership, maybe a friendship, from what I'm getting with this one. So it's coming in as an energy of support, supporting this reading, the Lovers. So yeah, definitely a very close connection to you, very important connection to you is going through something. The energy that surrounds you, and you may not be aware of it, the Five of Pentacles, again, a massive energy of loss is at play. In your hopes and fears, the Nine of Wands, interesting. Because you're kind of showing up here with the sense of, I don't want to deal with this. But at the same time, knowing that if you don't want to deal with this, and if you actually push against dealing with this, it'll get worse. So in the potential outcome, the Magician, you're trying to manifest something here. Okay, let's see what's going on. Let's clarify. Let me clarify the High Priestess. The Six of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Empress. It almost feels like someone is reminding you somehow to get back in touch with yourself, with that secret room inside of yourself, you know? It feels like maybe you read it somewhere or hear it somewhere, or it feels like a flyby kind of an information that you kind of catch, and then it's like, oh, okay, I should do that. But it gets to you to such extent that, you know, you fall back into that 50% side of you that wants to get back in touch with your intuition. So it's there's still part of you that doesn't want to listen to it either, you know. So it's kind of like you have access to reminders of getting back in touch with yourself, but part of you is like, yeah, I don't want to hear it, yeah, whatever, you know. Man, you're in a tough spot here. it's like you have days where you're like, yeah, I know, it makes sense. Yeah, okay, I'm hearing it, I'm listening, it makes sense to me, it makes all the sense in the world. And then, you know, the next day you're like, yeah, I don't want to hear any of that. That's crap, that's bullshit. No. You know? Which is understandable when someone's going through an energy of loss of some sort. It's a tough one. Let me do the Empress. The Five of Wands, the King of Wands, the Devil. Yeah, no, that's a little forced, kind of. That's the distorted part of getting in touch with yourself, because the energy that shows up for you is that of being able to deal with this, you know, at the end of the day. And then you're showing up as, yeah, you know what? I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be okay. I got this, okay? You know, quite a little aggressive in that kind of, which you don't even believe that, first of all. And second of all, it's just not beneficial for you. You know? For some reason, you're showing up in this tiny bit distorted part of it all, where you think you got it, you say you got it, but at the end of the day, you don't believe you got it. You know? And the way you say you got it is kind of cocky and not really beneficial. You know, you're almost saying it to be left alone, so that people just leave you alone, don't bug you about it anymore. Like, yeah, I got it, I'm good. Okay, let's talk about something else, you know? Kind of comes through a little bit like that. Let's do the Eight of Swords. The Magician, the Death card, the Page of Cups. Gonna tell you something you don't want to hear, and if you're in this stage of, yeah, I know, you're really not gonna like this one. You manifested this loss, this ending. It's supposed to teach you something quite valuable. I'm not sure if this ending is something permanent in the sense of whatever this is gone forever kind of a deal. But it's supposed to bring out your heart more. Maybe not now, as you're going through these conflicting energies. But in time, it's supposed to teach you quite a valuable lesson. So yeah, it's looking like you, whoever this is to you, you know, as a contract between the two of you as souls, you're like, okay, so this is going to happen like this. At this point in my lifetime, we will part ways, and that's when I learned this lesson, you know? Kind of looks like that. And this is something that, you know, when somebody's going through a loss, they don't want to hear that, oh, they asked for it, you know? But sometimes it kind of happens in that way. For the Death card, you get the Ace of Swords, the Six of Wands, the Queen of Swords. Man, I usually don't see you so riled up about stuff, in the sense of, you know, when there's a loss at play or something hard to deal with. I usually don't see you coming at the energy as aggressively as I see you in this one. Something is just bugging you about this one. Something is just keeping you in that very tensed place of, ultimately, this place is not going to help you out. You know, it's not going to benefit you at all. It's almost looking like everything you do, everywhere you turn, you just fight against the energies that are at play. It's one of those, I'm not giving up without a fight. But it's not the good fight. You know, it's the fight against accepting what's at play. It's pretty... And you're pretty determined, too. It's one of those where no matter what I say or anybody else says, nope. It's you're not going to listen to it now. You are going to listen to it when things do settle down. But right now, it's kind of like you're not hearing it. It's just words like flying around your ears there, but nothing. Let's do the Five of Cups. The Ace of Cups, the Three of Swords, the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like this is a lot of built-up anger in you. you know, because this situation, whatever this was, you wanted for it to work out. Eventually, it turns out, I mean, you're showing me pain, but you're showing me love that you're bringing in, and then you're showing me a massive amount of pain over that. And then an inability to deal with it, to be like, okay, what do I do now? What do I do with this? You know, it's in my lap now. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this? And now it's go time. It's kind of like you have to deal with it. And the way you're dealing with it, again, I kind of get the sense that it's a lot of built up anger from the whole situation. You know, the resentment of, well, it didn't work out in the way that I wanted to, and then it caused me pain, and then all of that, and then it just built up into this place where, well, now you have to deal with it. Ugh. This is not looking pretty at all for now. Let's do the Four of Swords. The World card, the Seven of Swords, the Three of Cups. I mean, ultimately, somewhere inside of you, there is a, think of it as a 2% part of you that is understanding what's going on. This is the ending of a cycle. I may like it or not, but I'm gonna have to move away from it. But in a place of acceptance over it. You know, whether you like it or not, understanding that this is what's going on and this is my next move. It's good. It gives me hope. I'm like, okay, so there's a little part of you there that understands what's going on. Not only that, accepts it. But the bigger part is fighting against it, which that's the opposite of accepting it. Which, on the long run, it's not going to feel great. For the Three of Pentacles, you get the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, the King of Cups. There's a partnership of some sort that's shown up here. It's very helpful for you. You're not super attached to it, though. You look like, it almost looks like, oh man, what is this? So let's say you've been friends with someone in high school, and now you're like, I don't know, 60 years old or something, and then it's someone that, yeah, you've been keeping in touch on and off, but it's not someone really close. You know, it's okay, they're there, okay, but they're showing up all of a sudden as being quite a supportive energy for whatever it is you're experiencing. So even though they're not the closest, they look to be quite supportive here, quite helpful, you know, within the situation for you. Let's do the Lovers in the supportive energies. The Knight of Wands, the Justice card, the Seven of Wands. There's a conflict here like no tomorrow, and it's constant. Every time I look into this connection, every time I open up this connection to see the energies, this connection you're dealing with, first comes in an energy of moving towards it, and then comes the energy that stops the movement towards this connection, so the rejection of it. But every time it shows up in the same way, which kind of takes me in the direction of you're struggling there with kind of figuring out or having clarity over what it is that you want out of this and what it is that you truly feel about the situation. You're not in your feels here at all. You know, when someone is showing up quite angry and quite rejective of everything that's going on from a situation they're dealing with, their feelings are not in there. You know, their real feelings, their emotions, their heart is not in there. It's not present. So I can understand why every time I open up this connection, it kind of shows up like that. Like, I want this. I feel that I'm heading in the direction of this, and then cutting that off because there's no feelings here as you're dealing with things for now. That 2% of you is dealing with the feelings of it, but it's too small for now for you to access that part. So it's kind of like every time you direct yourself towards this connection, you're split into very major sides of you. One that is drawn towards this, one that is doing everything in your power to just kind of pull away from this. Let's do the Five of Pentacles in the hidden energies. Queen of Cups, Four of Swords, King of Pentacles. Okay, now I'm kind of accessing that 2% that is coming through as being very honest here about how they truly feel. And there's a sense of belonging, there's a sense of love, and a sense of belonging, a sense of history almost to this connection. But at this time, it's shown up as being lost. Okay, so this is the actual truth that you're not in touch with yet, but at least you're giving me a sense of what the hell is this truly. You know, what the hell is going on here, truly. Okay, it's just your way of handling it seems very, very tormenting at this time. For the Nine of Wands in your hopes and fears, you get the Two of Swords, the Judgment card, the Queen of Pentacles. Ironically, you're kind of giving me a sense of really hoping somewhere within your subconscious possibly to not harm yourself through this process. And I say ironically because that's kind of what you're doing. You know, all of you going against the energies that are at play is basically you going against yourself. You know, not wanting to deal with the situation as it presents itself. So that in the long run is going to harm you. It's like you're not doing anybody any harm here but yourself. And again, ironically, you're giving me a sense of, I don't want to do that. Then don't. Start accepting what's going on, no matter how painful it is. This is more painful to fight against it, you know? Let's do the Magician for the potential outcome. The Nine of Wands, the Page of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, slowly but surely, and with a lot of dragging of feet and a lot of defensiveness almost, you're getting into a better place. It's gonna take a little bit because there's that whole sense of, I don't want to, I want to be in here. I want to fight off these energies and I want to go against everything that's going on and against myself and against everything, and I'm angry. God damn it. All of that is just making this path look a lot more slower than it should be, but you are getting there into a place where you're going to turn things around for the better for you. This is just slowly but surely. It's one of those, you know, once you get to that place, it's not going to happen overnight where, yes, it'll take long for you to get there, but you'll wake up one day and you'll be like, oh, I'm brand new here. Not really. You're going to wake up one day and you're going to feel that there's a change at play here, you know? And that is when this process of getting a little better, getting a little past these energies of anger is going to start for you. So it's going to be a slow process as it starts and as it unfolds, but you'll get there. Right now, you're surrounded by a lot of an energy of anger that comes from the past where things haven't been dealt with as they happened, and that just kind of allowed for this anger to build up, and now it's coming out over whatever's going on here. There's a split, a separation, a loss of some sort, and this anger is just coming out through anything you do when it comes to dealing with this. Again, you're gonna get back on track eventually. Let's see what the universe has. The Star, the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Cups. And you're, which is not surprising. At this point, you seem to be very, very stubborn in terms of not letting shit go. Not at all. Which, again, not surprising with what I see in this reading. There's a lot of... again, I'm not going down without a fight. But make sure it's the right fight. You know, because a lot of these fights that you're fighting right now may not be what you think they are. You know, you may actually be fighting against yourself here as you do these things, whatever it is that you're doing. So you have a lot of that when somebody comes from a place of anger with that, I'm not going down without a fight, that's not going to be a pretty fight, you know, and not necessarily the right kind of fight either. You know, it's just born out of anger, and it's just going for more anger. That's not quite healthy, is it? So make sure that's the right fight. Let's do the Black Moon Astrology Oracle for you. This is going to be a long one. I didn't even know I had this Oracle deck. So hang on to your socks there, because this is usually, from what I've seen in the book, that's a lot of, like, 2 pages to read it. You know, it's not that big of a book, but still, it's a lot more than we're used to. 11th house, friends, number 35. All right. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Just walk beside me and be my friend. They start with quotes, so this is a quote by Anonymous. Okay. The 3 graces of hope, faith, and charity, the bonds of friendship. Rely upon support from friends and other associations. Don't attempt to go it alone. You will need help. The 11th house is all about associations and how we connect to others. It is the house of group alliances, ideals, and our aspirations in a public or social arena. This 11th house is commonly referred to as the house of friends, but it is so much more than that. It has everything to do with a collective that comes from groups, people who identify and align with each other to make social change. By combining our energies with others, we can make our world, but more importantly, the domain of others, a better place. The 11th house has much to do with our destiny, what we decide to give before we leave this earth, our soul's purpose. The 11th house deals with the greater good and living up to an ideal. The 11th house card says that we are not in this world alone, and that it is time to aim higher and go among the broader society to work with others or share energies, or it's not a good time to work on your own. The support of allies and other groups are necessary. The 11th house points out how we are distinct. It is a reminder, I told you so, that we are unique among groups and friends. When this card turns up in a reading, the focus is on friends, what groups you belong to, and who you associate with. To achieve your objectives, pulling your resources with those of others may be necessary. There will be changes in your friendships and associations, or possibly you may be able to achieve an important goal or desire based upon who you know. It represents a collective creativity. A friend may have the very information you need to further advance your cause and goal, or it could be through the friendship of lovers or spouses that will allow you to attain your dream. This means you are to hook up with the right people at the correct time. Now, it is all about the people you know and what organizations you associate with. Even though it's fortuitous time to join a club, a society, or a group, it is also important you be a standout. Others will support your individuality. Sometimes this card indicates the sudden appearance or disappearance of an old friend. The 11th house is also the house of stepchildren or children who belong to your lover. Issues involving such children may arise. Look to surrounding cards for the meaning of the issue. The appearance of the 11th house card means the collective, those who support you as friends, but can sometimes indicate open enemies and rivals. It could just be a spirited competition between you and another, bringing out the best in both of you. But in the end, what works out is what works out best for all. So it is not a good time to serve your needs only. It is time to be a comrade and give consideration to friends. Corresponding tarot card, 3 of Cups. Key ideas, sources of help, alliances, groups, friends, the black sheep of the family, goals, hopes, wishes, dreams. Interesting. But yeah, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.